Welcome back to This Woman. Now, the show has gone as quickly as a bathrobe in Carol's hotel room, but we have time to enter our doorstep. Soon, Colleen won't be landing on your doorstep because you might need some men in to do some work afterwards. We'll let you know who's won at the end of the show. Now, Carol, listen, just briefly, I've got the one email for you, and there's one here too. This lady, Dora in Brighton, says when she was a teenager, she got engaged to her childhood sweetheart. The war came along, they were separated. She met someone else and married him. After 40 years of happy marriage, he died, and she moved back to the village where she lived as a child. Bumped into the childhood sweetheart. He had been married and divorced. They started seeing each other and now been married for 10 years.
Oh.
See, she's a softie at heart. You wouldn't believe it, would
Well,
you?
he was obviously the one.
Okay. Yes,
Yeah, you see. Now listen to this. I know there is such a thing as the one. I was happily married to a man I loved very much, but I went to the supermarket one day and met this man in the frozen food section. And it really was Thunderbolt City, as they say. I looked at him and I just knew. You are the one I'm going to spend the rest of my life with. A year later, and we are married with a baby on the way. When you meet the one, you just know.
Oh, no, that's lust.
Yeah.
That was lust.
I don't know if I could peas.
Hanging out at frozen fruit.
Yes.
That's where to get places. Just beside the fish fingers.
Actually, in Australia, I've been told in Melbourne, there's some supermarkets near areas where all the young kids are living, and they're very much, that's the place to go pick up. There's certain cruising hours.
I met a bloke in a supermarket once. I went out with him for 6 weeks. 6 months. That was the one who dumped me in my life.
And then the expiry date.
Never gotten over that, you know.
I haven't. Anyway, Dannii didn't come here to talk about this. Come here to talk about your new single, Perfection. And the video is extremely raunchy, I have to say. Let's see it.
It was the funniest, arriving in Spain to get ready to do this video, and there was a casting. So it was like, come in, and I had, you know, notepad and pen. I was like, boys, can you take your tops off, please?
Oh, what a hard job. What a great
Some came
idea.
in, you wanted them to leave straight away, and they were asked to do some freestyle dancing so we could see the movement. And the ones that ended up in the video, I knew straight away. Let me tell you, they walked in, yes.
Oh,
the others I had to just kind of, you know, get through. And I did turn into Simon Cowell, and I met Simon recently, and I told him about this audition where these guys came in, and they were there from England, and I think they were just holidaying, must have seen a sign, Dannii Minogue audition, and thought, oh, let's go in. They came in, and we're like, guys, can you... First they took their tops off, and we're like, oh, no.
Manchester United tops.
Oh, no. And then we're like, can you do some freestyle dancing? And they stood up, and they just went like this.
It's arcade dancers.
And we were like, okay, we'll give you a call, but I couldn't stop laughing. I was laughing so much that I had to run out of the room. The makeup artist had just arrived from London. She'd got there. We actually hadn't worked together before. She picked up her handbag, pretending to get something out of it, and just put her head inside it. And we were all going like this. But luckily, when the boys ran out and closed the door, I could hear them laughing. They were like, that was so much fun. So
it's very good of you to get involved in the casting. You didn't need to stand there and look at all these guys.
No, I have to do that. I'm thorough. I'm very thorough.
I'll do it for you next time.
Okay.
For your next video.
Okay.
I'll audition.
When I run out laughing, you keep going.
Yeah.
You look fantastic in that video.
job.
You must be in the gym 20 hours a day.
I've started yoga. I used to be the whole gym thing.
Where'd you go? Who's the teacher?
I tried yoga a couple of times and thought that I didn't like it, but actually then tried it again and realised you have to find a teacher that you can communicate with, because they're asking you to contort and these things, and you think, I just don't get it. but I've got a great teacher now, and you really notice the change in your body very quickly.
I tried it. It takes too long. I'm so impatient. I just get bored. So it's like 2 hours a day or something, isn't it?
Oh no, I just do an hour twice a week.
Twice a week.
Yeah.
That's not much time, is it?
Promises you won't hire her for your next video. We really don't want to see it. I'm sure
I'll
it's
do the
very
casting for you, though.
So you've got an album coming out soon. You're working on an album, is that right?
Yeah, just finishing the last few tracks. I've been writing and producing, and it's been a great experience. Loads of dance producers. Roger Sanchez wrote me a track.
Wow.
JCA, who wrote my biggest hit, he's done another track on it. Writing with one of the girls who's written the Shapeshifters, Back to Basics, and another girl with Stonebridge, one of those writers. So I'm in the room with like people that I really admire from that music.
How did you end up in dance? Because it's a definite niche, isn't it?
It is. I guess with the pop music, I started off doing big dance remixes of every single, and I sort of became known from that, and then twisted around and wanted to put dance music into what I did, because I didn't think I'd be around for more than one album. So by the time I got to the third one, I thought, try something new, better. And it took a while to kind of open the doors in the dance music scene, because it's quite closed off. They're like, we don't want the pop people around. And now it's kind of feels comfortable for me. Raving, dancing, that's good. Exercise.
I'll try that too.
Well, Dannii, it's been great to have you here. Thanks very much for coming along.
Thank you.
Now, we deliberately haven't mentioned Kylie simply because we know that it puts you in a very difficult position, but you also know that people have such a great warmth of feeling for her, so
Yeah.
I do hope that she's doing well.
Thank you, yeah. She's well aware of all the well wishes. I do pass them on, so thank you.
Okay. Dannii Minogue, everyone. Time's up for another week, don't miss us.